protect it.
Christian Adams is a former U.S. Justice Department attorney who worked in the Civil Rights Division but resigned in May of 2010, accusing the Eric Holder-led Department of racial bias. He now works for the Election Law Center in Washington, D.C., and represents Guam resident Dave Davis in his class action lawsuit against the non-binding plebiscite on Guam's political status.
What's wrong with having a vote?
It's inconsistent because they want the stamp of the government on the vote. And when you put the stamp of the government on the vote, certain rules apply to those elections. And if you want to just have the voice of the people heard, then conduct a big poll with 4,000 people. Have a private election. There's ways to do what those folks want to have done without the stamp of the government restricting people from participating in the political process.
The Attorney General's office has argued that no harm has been done. The plebiscite date has not been set. Has Mr. Davis suffered harm already, and if so, what is it?
One of the great things about having the protections of the Constitution, the protections that protect everybody on Guam from race discrimination, is that when you are denied the right to register to vote in any political process, that Constitution kicks in and protects your rights. So it is a fundamental harm to be denied the right to fully participate in the political process because of who your parents were, what your skin color is, these things which we've rejected as a country.
So merely because he was denied the right to register, he's been harmed?
That's what happened in the South in the 1950s. The entire civil rights fight in the 1950s in America was about games being played on the right to register.
However, Adams does not think that the backers of the political status plebiscite really want to have a vote.
But people don't want the plebiscite. There's a whole group of people on this island that don't want the plebiscite to happen. It's oxygen to their political cause.
I'm sorry, but people are going to say, who are you, an outsider, coming here to tell the people of this island what they do and don't want?
Well, I can read legislation, and Senator Guthers proposed Bill 154 last year and set the date for November 14th, and took it out in an amendment.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, because people don't want to have the plebiscite. They don't, because, look, this issue is a big issue on Guam. It helps certain factions maintain a constant state of complaint about the colonizer, the buildup, the role of the United States, the 1950 decisions. So putting the plebiscite off puts wind in the sails of some more marginalized folks on the island.
People on Guam, those people who are considered native inhabitants, have never been asked what status they choose.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be given that right?
Well, they can do it this fall. We could have that non-binding referendum this fall on November 6th where every native inhabitant gets to vote, every non-native inhabitant gets to vote, and we'll be able to tell exactly what the native inhabitants want by doing the statistical analysis. Everybody could have their voice heard this November.
It just doesn't have to be done under the sanction of Gov Guam with taxpayer funds?
We could do it with taxpayer funds. It only costs about $3,000. The government of Guam will spend 1,000 times more than that in this lawsuit.
But everyone should be allowed to participate as opposed to only those defined as native inhabitants?
Well, we can have both. We can have everybody participate and tell what the native inhabitants want. Everybody gets to vote, and you can tell through some statistical work exactly what only those who are native inhabitants wanted.
Adams is on island for the next 2 weeks. He declined to discuss who he is deposing in the case, a case which District Court Judge Joaquin Manabusan has already recommended be dismissed. Chief District Court Judge Francis Tydenko Gatewood is expected to decide on that soon. Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.
Okay, but one thing that I've